Hi everybody, and welcome to the first official week and weekend read for the Westward House. It's a little surreal being back after such a prolonged hiatus, but if I'm being really honest, I got kind of tired and burned out, and as much as I don't want to admit it, I do think that I had a lot of growing up to do. Some things that I didn't even know that I needed to kind of analyze and take a look at, they kind of cropped up as one does, and so I think I just took a deep breath, a deep break, and watched a lot of BBC and worked through it. But we're back, and ideally as good as we were before, if not a little bit better. But I think that that's a really big thing to talk about. First is about transformation and change, especially now that we're fully in Aquarius season. We've got that full moon in Leo on Thursday. We also have a square with the sun and Uranus tomorrow. So whether we like it or not, change is everywhere all around us, especially the outer planets too are starting to kick in Aquarius. So there's just so much transformational energy. It's impossible for most people not to feel it. And I do think that it sort of defies description because it's not too much external change. The world around us is not necessarily shifting, but it's more of an inward transformation. And that can be a little bit disconcerting. It's kind of like drips of water on a stone wall. You hear them, you feel them, but you don't know what's actually going on or how it's happening. And I do think that that's posing a unique kind of dichotomy for the collective, because people who did the work in 2020, who continued to kind of prioritize growth and maturity and their own spirituality and really dive deep to try to be the best they can, I do think that there's a feeling of fuzziness, murkiness, confusion, because the things that are happening are so subtle and yet so profound. It's like I said, it's hard to kind of verbalize them, and yet they're happening all around us. It's like a buzz under the skin. I've been struggling with restless leg syndrome for like the last 3 or 4 days, and I never ever get that. And also, if you do, I'm so sorry. That's so terrible. I can't imagine. It's been driving me nuts. But I know that that's just a frequency thing. So the high vibes are getting higher, and even though that's a little bit funky, it's still for our greater good. But the people who don't do the work, who aren't prioritizing their own spiritual growth and development, I do think that they're having a harder time holding on to the things that they want to hold on to and staying in that low vibrational state, because the collective as a group Aquarius energy is asking us to go upwards and be better. And so there just really is kind of a rift right now. And it is creating a lot of uncertainty and a lot of tension. And because of that sun square Uranus tomorrow, and because it's Aquarius season, because we've got this full moon, really what's being put in front of us is flexibility, adaptability, and positivity. And that does seem a little bit crazy. I mean, 2020 was a rough year, and it may be hard to see the forest for the trees in terms of positivity right now, but that really is what's being asked of us. And I was trying to explain January to somebody a little while ago, and it's kind of like January 2021 is basically just January 2020, but whereas the latter half of 2020 was all about letting things die out, all of the stuff that didn't serve us anymore, all of the stuff that absolutely had to be done and buried, a lot of it really came up to the chopping block in December, and that's fine, that's good, let it go, let it die. But what's a little bit different is that January this month has been the equivalency of actually burying that coffin, throwing the dirt on it, and that's a different headspace, and that's a different kind of finality, because you know, when we let go of something, we understand that we have to go through a mourning period and we have to finally bury it. But once you bury it, where do you go from here? So if you do find yourself with sort of a big question mark over your head, or you can sense that things are changing, you can taste transformation, you can feel vibrational shifts, that's okay. You're in good company. That's very much what's swirling around us, and the universe is enacting it for our highest good. But on to our read now that I've prattled on enough. Oh, also we're in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde, so, you know, whatever, fuck that. But this week, our energy, our foundational energy is the 3 of Cups. We are being asked to find positivity this week. We're being asked to link with people that are on our vibrational wavelength. We're being asked to create networks and friendships and communities that really allow us to ebb and flow in our own growth and development. And that's really, really important, because with this full moon in Leo, we are 100% being told that we need to channel all of those fabulous Leo qualities: grace, independence, creativity, passion. And I say that because we also have the Empress and Strength for this week. We are asked to go deep. And even though we may not see what's coming, we have to trust that it's for our highest good and step into our power and embrace it with 2 hands, big ol' heart. Just get that solar plexus going, get your heart chakra going, and just know that it's going to be a good thing. The issue with that is 2020 was such an intense year. The idea of having hope can seem a little intense. On the back end, we also have for this week the Five of Swords and the Devil. So we are really kind of wrestling with the head versus the heart, right? We're kind of in this state of, but what if I have hope and it goes to shit? What if I put myself out there and things don't go the way they did? What if 2020 will chase me forever and I'll never be free and COVID will never stop? We're really being asked to just have faith. Leos, Empresses, they don't bat eyes. They just step forward in confidence. And that's really what this is about. And finding other people who have that same confidence. And maybe, sure, we're all shaking in our pants, nervous at what comes, but at least together we're creating like a little positive energy lifeboat that we can all float with as we let things happen. Because Sun square Saturn tomorrow, the 26th, not Saturn, Uranus, that's tower moments consistently. And it doesn't have to be shocking or jarring. And again, I don't think a lot of it's external unless really you've been holding on to systems that just have to go. But it's going to be epiphanies, things that really come to the surface that we have to deal with, because I do think that Venus is still dealing with Pluto. So a lot of people's shadow sides are coming out, including our own. Things we don't want to admit about ourselves, or things that we're afraid to embrace because, again, we're worried that it could go tits up with that 5 and that Devil. We're being asked to just take a deep breath, find people, find joy, find positivity with that 3 of Cups. Now, once we do, for the weekend, once we step out in faith, it can be a little bit difficult, and it'll be pretty clear to us who's coming along for the ride, because we've got the 7 of Swords. My mom got me these cards, and they're just the cutest thing since sliced bread. We've got the 2 of Pentacles, and we also have the 8 of Cups. And because it's Aquarius and that's all 11th house, yada, 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 there really is an emphasis on relationships, be those romantic, professional, familial. Things are shifting, things are changing, and not everyone's going to be able to come with us. Or I should say, we're not supposed to bring everyone with us. We've really got to start asking ourselves, what are we worth and who are we worth? And what's the give and take situation? Am I giving as good as I'm getting, and vice versa? And not a lot of people are going to be super stoked if you're trying to grow and be better. There are a lot of negative Nancys out in the world. And to my friend Nancy, I don't mean to use your name that way. Nancy is wonderful. Sage and Shadow, she's phenomenal. You should look her up. I'm going to rep her on the page once I finally do some work on it. But some people are not going to be pleased to see how we're growing. Some people are not going to be happy to see how we're shifting, because we all act as mirrors for each other. We all amplify our strengths and our weaknesses because we're here to learn from each other and grow. So this weekend, if you do step into your power and you do start living your best life, as it were, and kind of carpe diem seize the day, fuck the rest, I'm here and I'm doing it, not everybody's going to be thrilled with it. And what you're being asked with this weekend is take some time, go inward, and ask yourself, is this something you want to carry with you through the next lunar cycle? Or is it really time to put dirt on this and call it a day? And this doesn't necessarily have to be people. That's really the vibe I'm getting. But this can be perspectives. It can be expectations. It can be habits. It can be jobs. There's so many things that it could apply to. You'll know what's right for you. But the big thing is, you've got to start stepping into that space where you are powerful and you don't owe anybody anything. I mean, obviously, don't be crazy and don't leave your whole family in a lurch and do wild things or run off into the sunset and blow up a town. I don't know. Don't do crazy stuff. But we're being asked right now to be flexible and adaptable and positive, like I already said. But more than anything, we're being asked to find our happiness and our growth and our joy, because I'm telling you, big changes are coming in 2021. The collective mankind, big shit's coming, and it's really going to be beautiful. And if we can start seeing it for the beauty it is now and start putting in that work and getting ready for the next chapter, oh, baby angels, it is just going to be delightful. So the theme for the week, find your joy. The theme for the weekend, it's okay to let people go. It's okay to cull the wheat from the chaff. It doesn't make you a monster. If anything, it makes you a healthy, mature human being, and we're all about that. So thank you so much. I don't know. I guess these are long and I have to stop apologizing for it. Maybe that's my shadow side. I got to quit apologizing. But at some point, I'm going to get a better backdrop. I'm going to get better lighting. I'm going to do so much more. But in the meantime, please let me know if you need anything. I am doing reads. You can go to our services page and fill out that little form. You can email me at becca@thewestwardhouse.com. My Little Lion Gmail still works, so if you want to hit that up there, I can respond to you. If you've had a reading and you liked it, consider submitting a testimonial. I don't like asking for that, but trying to brand yourself or at least promote yourself without social media, it's kind of fun, but it's also kind of weird. So, you know, it is what it is. So please and thank you. But yeah, mostly everybody, I hope you have the best week. You are worth what you want. And it may not come in the package that you want, but you got to release those expectations. You kind of got to let things go. You got to let the ego go. And believe me, it's really fucking hard. I'm struggling with it on a lot of things. So I'm right there with you, but good luck. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next Monday.